Just like that, we're already seeing the end of the year, which is a popular time for surveys. Speaking of surveys, recently a poll was held in determining who is the most popular F1 driver for this year, and we're quite shocked with the results. So if you're curious to know who this is, as well as several F1 news, you better keep on watching. Who emerged as the most popular F1 driver in the poll? Voted as the top Formula One driver by the fans is none other than the 24-year-old Belgium-Dutch driver Max Verstappen, who garnered 14.4% of the votes. Most of his votes came from international fans, especially those from the USA and Japan. He was followed by another young up-and-comer driver, LANDO NORRIS, who got 13.7% in the votes, was also named as not only the most popular driver among female fans, but also the most popular in the younger audiences from those aged 24 and under. Despite not winning any race as of yet, Norris is doing a pretty great job of reeling in younger fans into the industry. Coming in third place is the British champion Lewis Hamilton, who got 12.5% of the votes. He may not have been the most popular driver among the ladies, but Hamilton was ranked as the top driver in the UK, as well as all the other drivers aged 35 and above, while also ranking second best in the US audience. Which team was voted most popular in the survey? As for the most popular team, McLaren emerged as the winner of the poll, which has seen a great improvement compared to the last poll back in 2017, where they received 15.8% of the popular vote, but has seen an increase and now boasts 29.5% of the votes. The majority of those who voted for the team came from the younger audiences aged 24 and below, which is also an indicator that younger and younger audiences are developing an interest in Formula One racing. McLaren was voted the top team in various countries across the globe, especially in the Middle East, Europe, USA, and Africa, while Red Bull was named the most famous team in the Asia-Pacific regions. Following McLaren in second place is Red Bull, who garnered 19.7% of the votes, with Ferrari landing on the third spot with 17.9% of the votes. As much as McLaren gained positive results over the years, an opposing team has seen a steady decline on the contrary. Ferrari, the most glamorous and oldest team in the industry, was one of the leading teams up until the 2006 poll. This prestigious team garnered 32% of the popular vote back in 2017, but now has dropped to 17% currently. Another popular team, Mercedes, also saw a decrease in popularity, where their last vote hailed 16.2% and has now slipped to 11.9%, which made them the fourth most popular team. These numbers are a hopeful sign that the industry will thrive more in the future, but more important than that, we also got an insight on what the fans wanted to see more, as well as naming the popular attributes of the sport. Later, we'll be sharing with you what the CEO of F1 had to say about the results as well, so don't go away, keep watching to know more. What best describes Formula One racing according to the fans? The top attribute of F1 racing was exciting, followed by competitive and entertaining. In addition to that, fans also pointed out that the F1 community has improved in terms of close competition, as well as having the best drivers and exciting racing, which was voted the best event this season. But that's not all there is to it. The participants also had the chance to choose which among the racing events were their favorites this season, and emerging in the top 5 were the races held in Monza, Spa, Silverstone, and Monaco, retaining their spots in the top 4, with Japan placing into 5th. Another positive feedback the survey showed is the recently launched F1 Sprint, which was designed to showcase a short and fast-paced racing event with drivers racing flat out from start to finish without the need to pit. What expectations did fans want to see in the future? Sustainable fuels were also a strong point of interest, wherein 55% of the fans voted that Formula One should be at the forefront of the development of sustainable fuels. A whopping 65% of the vote were already aware of the industry's plan to introduce it as early as 2025. Who's behind this poll and survey? The results of a poll conducted by Nielsen and Motorsport were released, which saw the biggest participation of the F1 community so far. Fans from 187 countries took part and cast their votes to determine who was the most popular rider, as well as the team and what they wanted to see in the industry for years to come, to name a few. What's the demographic of the fans who took the poll? A staggering 167,302 participants answered the survey, and the result of the popularity contest was exciting, as it was also unexpected. The last survey Nielsen conducted was back in 2017, so it also came as a surprise for them to see the results, as well as see who are the most ardent fans in the F1 industry. But what probably pleased the surveyors is seeing an increase of female fans, which has doubled compared to the 2017 survey. Among other things, the survey also found out that Formula One has seen better health as of late, garnering 55% compared to the initial survey 5 years ago, where fans only voted for it at 25%. 90% of the fans even claimed that F1 was the pinnacle of motorsport. Another interesting fact the poll discovered is that half of the F1 fans watched the event on pay television, and a majority played motorsport-specific video games, whereas 64% of them are active gamers aged 16 to 34. Formula One CEO is grateful for the fans' participation. Through all this, Formula One CEO Stefano Domenicali can't help but express his gratitude for the fans who shared their thoughts with the sport, which he expressed in a statement. "We're hugely grateful for all the fans that have given their time to share their views in this huge survey," Domenicali began. "Their views are very valuable to us, and we're extremely pleased with what we have seen in the results. I also want to thank Motorsport Network and Nielsen Sports for the incredible job they've done. We're privileged as a sport to be truly international, racing in continents and countries around the world with a global fan base. We reach every corner of the globe through our events, TV broadcasts, and social media and media content. This is a blessing to have such a platform, but it also is a responsibility. We must protect what we have, grow it, reach more fans, and ensure those blessings remain and get stronger," the CEO further added. Domenicali also said that he was pleased with the results of the survey and believes they are doing the right things, to which they will continue to develop while also creating more excitement and entertainment for the fans both on and off course. He concluded the statement by expressing his excitement about the future has to offer to the already growing fan base of Formula One. Motorsport Network's president James Allen couldn't help but chip in his elated response to the survey, calling it an exciting time to be a Formula One fan. He couldn't help but look back on how the industry made every effort to attract more audiences, but with meager results, but the results of the recent poll served as a glimmer of hope. F1 struggled in the past to attract younger fans, and particularly the female fan base, and this survey speaks volumes about how the new management's digital-first approach and the funnel effect of projects like Netflix Drive to Survive are engaging a new generation of a passionate F1 fan, Allen said in a statement. What was Stefano Domenicali's initial reaction on the results? As much as it reeled in a lot of positive feedback, Formula One CEO Stefano Domenicali still couldn't help being shocked with Max Verstappen leading the popularity poll. The 24-year-old Dutchman has an ongoing rivalry with a 36-year-old Lewis Hamilton as of late, wherein Domenicali thought the latter would be hailed more popular than Verstappen. These two have emerged as fan favorites this season, so seeing them top the polls was not surprising. In an interview with Motorsport.com, Domenicali shared his thoughts regarding the popularity poll, where he said that the results surprised him in a way. "If you think about the demographics of the people who are more involved in this kind of voting, I think you can understand why LANDO has a large audience," the CEO mused. "It has more to do with the fact that he has an approach with them that is fresh, in a way that's closer to the people who follow that. That's my personal opinion. But in regards to the sports overall, Domenicali stated that Netflix's Drive to Survive series did a remarkable job in attracting a larger audience, especially for those who had no interest in the sport. Certainly, Drive to Survive had a big impact, especially on those who were not really that avid fans of Formula One. They saw other storylines related to the sport, so it definitely had a positive impact. We have an incredible group of young, very talented, and very good drivers who are of value to Formula One. We have no problem with drivers for the future. What's the next event for Formula One racing? As of the moment, everybody's looking forward to the Mexican Grand Prix, which will be held this coming November 8 at the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez in Mexico City. We can't wait for what's in store in this upcoming event. With that, we conclude today's video about the most popular F1 drivers and teams fans have voted for. Did you take part in this survey as well? Who did you vote for? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to hit like and subscribe before you go. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.